and tonight we'll be talking about the invasion of Manchuria. And now we have the weather report from John Sullivan. John? Thanks, Troy. Well, as you can see, there is going to be a little bit of a system coming down from Canada into the United States. High precipitation up to 15%, but nothing to be too worried about. However, Florida, on the other hand, you will have to worry about. There's a hurricane warning and winds up to 100 kilometers an hour. So maybe take the day off for work. Well, down in Mexico, there is a storm coming in from the west, from the Pacific, and hitting the coast, and high precipitation. Humidity is going to be through the roof. So that's the weather report. Thanks, Troy. We go now to Greg Holton in China, Manchuria. Greg?
Well, as you can see, Troy, everything's in ruins here. A lot of the buildings are damaged. Some are still standing, but most of them are destroyed all the way to the ground. There's a lot of homeless people too, just wandering around the streets, and people without homes, and so there's a lot of crisis here in Manchuria.
So Greg, why exactly was Manchuria invaded?
Well, Troy, the word around here is that Japan blew up their own railroad just as an excuse to invade China. You see, over the past couple of years, Japan has been wanting to invade China, so this is their opportunity.
Are there any civilians that have been affected by this invasion that you could interview, Greg?
Yes, Troy. I have a man right here, Ting Yang. He is currently homeless. His house was bombed during the invasion. We have just a couple questions for you, Tin. How has this invasion affected you?
Well, Greg, it had been bad. My house was bombed. My family, my little daughter, she hurt her leg. My life not good now.
How would you say you've been treated by the Japanese during this invasion?
Well, they have Aryan race kind of concept thing, and they treat different people differently. My family have been treated very badly. My wife been taken from me, and I never see her again.
And what would your fellow countrymen say about this invasion?
Well, the ones out in the country, not in the city, say this good for business. More people for food, they say.
Thank you very much, Ting Yang.
I'm here now with a civilian that has moved from Manchuria, China, to Canada. Well, T. Yong, do you have relatives back in China?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, you do.
I do. My mom and my dad and all my siblings live in China still.
Really? Okay. Do you still remain in contact with them?
Not very much.
Not very, like, how often?
Maybe once a year I phone them.
Do you have contact with them at this point?
No, I don't.
No.
No.
So communication has been severed in Manchuria, China. And how does this affect you? Are you worried, or?
I'm very worried about my family, and it makes me very angry that the Japanese would do this to our country. I don't understand why. It does not make sense to me, and I just hope my family is alright.
Well, there you have it. Manchuria, China, not a good thing.
Here we have another fellow countryman of China, and his name is King Wong Hee. And he is the local owner of the food shop here in town. So, is it alright if I ask you a few questions?
Oh, yes, that's very good, yeah.
So how have you been affected by this invasion?
Oh, ever since Japanese come, my life been so good. I have sold three times the supply I used to give out to my fellow countrymen. Japanese be coming in. Sometimes they a little bit mean, but still, I get lots of business.
So how would you say you've been treated during this invasion?
Oh, very good. They pay good price for food. Sometimes they lower my price, but that's okay. I still get good business.
So, what do you think the rest of your fellow countrymen think about this invasion? Do you think they think it's a good thing or a bad thing?
Oh, they are stupid. They think, oh, Japanese bad. No, Japanese good. They take over China and they make us good country. That's what I think.
Thank you, King Wang Hee. I'm Greg, reporting for CBN News.